Hello everyone, I'm ihas0212 and in today's video I want to try to show you how I made my own do-it-yourself made gaming trigger for my smartphone with just basic materials. This trigger is based on the concept of the touch sensitive mechanism, so it's not a mechanical, manually pulling mechanism. Things you need are not too much. Basically some tools to like cut the wires, to bend the wires, to cut the materials you are using with the scissor. You need hot glue pistol, just a basic one. You can find it for very cheap, I guess. Then materials wise, I used just some thin wires that is PVC coated, but you can use paper clips and bend them as well, work the same way, or any other materials to strengthen your construction. Then aluminium foil, you can use the basic one in the kitchen. I personally used this aluminium foil tape. I find it easier to work with, but I'm sure the regular aluminium foil would work as well. Some paper tape that mostly people use to paint their houses, Um, some material that you want to make the shape of. Here I used layered duct tape, which I used to have from previous project, as you can see, like some parts. So that's what you need as well, and a little bit of a balloon that you have, like rubber, to make the screen protected from the aluminium. Alright, so the first step what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a T-shape from any material that you use. I'm gonna use this duct tape for this purpose. So first of all, I'm gonna use my older Nokia for the show of this method because I only have the smartphone in my hand. So what I did, I measured the length where I want to put the triggers. So it's gonna look like something like this. You have this T shape, and this part gonna go like this. So first of all, I measured how long I want to be this piece and how long I want to be the other piece, like where I want to touch the screen from the top. That's very important. Then I actually realized these two actually can be the same, same length. So what I did then was basically just glue two parts together with this part on the bottom and this part that's gonna have the touch part of the screen below. So I will be right back. I'm gonna put the glue to hot to warm up. Alright, so the glue warmed up. Now I'm gonna glue these two pieces together, like this at the top and this in the bottom, exactly, or kind of exactly to the middle. So like, gonna put a little bit of glue there. And then push this to that, like this. Just push it a little bit. And there you go. When it's hardened, like when it's dried out a little bit, you can also put some glue in the open spaces to make it even more stronger. I used to do that with my projects, like this. Just a little bit. Alright, so the next part is just cut off some wires, if zoom would work. Then measure the angle you want to put on your phone, and then measure the length of the wire you want to have, like this, and then put it on your phone. I'm gonna get the phone, for example. Since I made left trigger, excuse me, I'm gonna do this on the right side. So I'm used to play like this. So I'm gonna put the wire here. And then simply, it's a little bit hard because the phone is in my way, but I'm trying my best. So yeah, like this. And then I'm gonna bend it in the way I want it to have. So like this. Just a little bit, not too much. So I bend it a little bit. And now I'm gonna bend it a little bit more with my bare hands. Like this. So I know the angle gonna be this. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut the wire for length. It's so hard to look at the same time to the camera and what I'm doing. So this, then I'm gonna cut somewhere here the wire. Now I already measured some wires, so what I'm gonna use are in my hands at this moment. I'm gonna be right back. So I have two pieces of wire that I'm gonna glue here on both sides, so I have a little space like between those wires, like this, something like this. So again, I'm gonna use hot glue to glue the wire to the shape, like this. It's a little bit slippery, so it want to slip the whole time out of my hand. So I want to put it here, so I'm gonna do put some glue here, a little bit more. I want to be fast because one thing to note about hot glue that it dries very, very, very fast. It's already to my finger, right? So clean it up a bit. So like this. After I did this this way, I want to put some more glue on the top, like I did with the shape to strengthen it a little bit. to make sure it's covered with glue. I want to wait some seconds. Then I'm gonna glue the second part right here. So I'm gonna do the same thing again. I'm gonna put glue on the duct tape, and I fast want to put the wire where I want it to be. So I'm already bending to the shape, if you can see. I want it to have. We can adjust the shape later, so that's no problem. Then I also gonna put some glue here on the top of this wire as well. I know auto zoom can be a little bit annoying, excuse me. So after we did that, next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make this W shape or C shape, depends how you're looking at, like this W shape out of wires. So again, just cut out some wires and measure the angle, measure the length first of all, and then bend it. I already bended it, so I have two of these U shapes, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna glue these to here over the other wires like this. They're pretty slippery. Almost, yes. So it's gonna looks like kind of something kind of like this. One thing to note, make sure that the wire, if auto zoom gonna work, make sure that the wire do not stick out too much, because that could damage your screen, like here. So how I do this is I put it on the U shape, then hold it like this, so it doesn't let it fall off. Then I'm gonna put some glue here, where it's gonna come. Then I'm gonna push this there, like the wire to the point, to get a little bit of strength, like this. And then I'm gonna hold it a little bit differently, so I can glue, like I'm pushing the bottom and just lifting up this part, so I can glue under, put some glue under the wire, like this. I'm gonna repeat that on the other side as well. So just gonna hold the bottom, then lift up this part and put some glue underneath a little bit, like this. So now we can say we are sure that this won't move too much. Now we can put more glue. There's the camera. Now we can put more glue between the gaps and over the wire as well. Like this. So. Oh, touched it, an accident. We're gonna repeat this process on the other side. when the glue is dried out enough. So we're gonna continue with the other part, the other U shape, the wire. So I'm gonna put it on now. It's already having its own shape, so I don't need to hold too much. I'm gonna move a little bit, grab the hot glue pistol, and then put some glue where the middle part I'm gonna come, and then move this wire where it needs to be and push it. At the same time, make sure the wire doesn't move too much from the end of your material. So now I'm gonna do what I did with the other wire as well. So just lift this up, put some glue underneath. It's pretty just the same process. The other side, just put some glue underneath. Make sure that the wires are like on the side and not too much in the middle, because we actually need this middle part later on. So it's dried up enough so I can put more glue inside those gaps. Like this. So I'm gonna put the pistol away. The glue pistol. So as you can see, we already have the basic construction. Now the only thing left is kind of like make it touchable. Like how I prefer to play is that my finger touch this part, like the upper part, and then I'm gonna set the other part here where it's gonna touch the screen. So if I showed it on the phone, it's gonna look something like this. I can touch here and it's gonna touch like there. Alright, so after we have our shape, next thing we're gonna need is a piece of aluminium tape, foil or whatever that fits between those wires if you can. It's not necessarily, but I find it better, easier. So now I'm gonna hold it in the way that it's gonna go on my phone. So I'm gonna start by the point where my phone gonna get touched. So I'm gonna rotate the shape. I'm gonna hold this foil, or actually tape here, just how much I want. Just make sure you have enough space. You can always tape it later. I'm gonna tape it later, so just gonna move for almost the max amount of length. Then I'm gonna hover it up until this point in the middle of the T shape. Now, since this is a double-sided tape, so one side is paper, other side is aluminium foil, and I want to make sure that the aluminium is facing up, I'm gonna make a little break here to that side, like this. Then I'm gonna go over it like this. At this point, I'm gonna get some paper tape, and I'm gonna tape that part to there, like this, almost like this. Also, I want to put a little bit tape underneath here, so I'm gonna put some tape at the end where I know I don't want to get touched. The phone, try to aim the middle, and all the way up to the top, like this. So now your tape shouldn't move too much, so we can focus on the other side. So the next things I did with my design last time is I make it this bendable part. So I have my foil. I'm gonna push until I see that where I fold it, it just doubles up. So like this. Just a little bit more. Like this. See? Like this. If I compare the two, you can see that they have almost the same length. Almost. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tape this part down as well, in the way that I'm gonna tape from the top to the bottom. So like gonna move just a little bit. All right. So I want to have a thin tape, not so wide, like this. I'm just cutting it right now. So like this. So it isn't always easy to move, but like this. Just a little bit correction so it stays in the middle. So like this. Then I'm just gonna kind of glue it here. And then move this, like push it upwards like this. And just turn it a little bit. So the idea is I can push either with this one or just by pressing it. The two don't need to be in connection. If I compare, yeah, the length's almost the same. So now we are almost done. The only thing I still need to do is cover it up with a little bit of balloon part. So I got this part from an older balloon. I cut it off, not too much. Then I just need a small rectangle from it. So something like this that I can put around from the inside and stretch it a little bit. And while I'm doing this, I want to kind of hold it with one finger and then take some paper tape and tape the parts together. So like this, if I can do it with no space. Excuse me, I moved the camera. This part isn't very easy. I'm holding it with my hand, and I'm gonna put some tape here, and then just want to make sure that the other part is stretched. Then just tape the two parts together. So it's gonna look something like this. Something to note, that make sure that not too much is sticking out from this side, because this is actually your screen cover. So I'm gonna move down just a little bit like this, kind of. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some more tape from here, like the middle, to there, where I just taped this cover, and we are pretty much done. So the last thing left is to readjust angles and the wires. Like first of all, bend this to the inside with your hands like this, then bend the part what's gonna touch the phone a little bit outside, so gonna have like this shape. So this part goes inside, and then this is like flat. That's what you want to have. Other part kind of the same. Then you want to put it on your phone. For show purposes, I'm gonna use this phone. So putting it on, and I want to make sure that it's not moving, not loosened up too much. Then I'm gonna readjust this part, these wires. So I'm gonna push it to my phone, and just bend where I think I need to bend it, the wires, like this. So let's say I want this part be perfectly angled with this side. And I see, oh, it's not angled at this moment, aligned, so I'm just gonna move it up, bend the wire, and move it back, and now it's kind of angled. So that's it. One important thing to note is when you are using triggers that bases on the mechanism of touch sensitiveness rather than the mechanism of moving parts, is that it sometimes gets stuck on your screen, like you want to shoot or you want to aim, it just gets stuck. The most important thing to note here is you need to turn on and again on, turn off your screen and turn on your screen every time you remove your trigger from your screen. Because what that actually does is it resets the idea that you are touching the screen. So if you ever had that issue, like you just wanted to touch it and it shot once, and then you moved your finger away and it kept shooting, and your magazine was empty, or you just could not aim properly because you was aiming the whole time, or going to aim and back to aim, you understand what I mean, I guess. And what you need to do is turn off your screen, like just screen lock, and then turn on your screen again, and it's gonna be fixed. So I hope you can base from this video and make your own trigger. Like, this is just one design. You can make the shape you want, you can put the length, how long you want, you can make other construction materials, you can make other materials for the shape. This is how I made it, and I think it's a pretty basic idea how you can make it. Also, one important thing to know that I realized is it's useful if the aluminium that you are touching actually as long as possible to the end where it gets to the connection point. I used to have other designs where I made um, this connection out of more pieces of tape or more pieces of aluminium foil, and sometimes aluminium also just yeah, cut, like it didn't work anymore, and it had a little offset from the other part, and then connection wasn't too good either. Good. So I think I pretty much covered everything, and if there's something you want to ask about, feel free to ask in the comment section. You can like this video if you want, you can dislike it. Feel free to react. I'm happy if I can discuss about what I'm doing. Just doing this for fun. So I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. Bye.